Here he is in an early pro fight, the pupil taming the old master, Archie Moore. And now, arriving in London for the fight that's become the most fondly remembered British fight of all time. The first fight with Henry Cooper, before Clay became world champion. It's one fight I never tire of watching.
Have you seen this before?
I've seen it. This is the fight when Mr. Cooper got his eye cut?
That's right. He got him cut in both fights, actually. He got it cut in both fights.
But this is the bad one.
This is the one where he puts...
Look at the crowd going crazy.
Oh, absolutely. He came over and said that he was going to jive in 5, and Henry would go in 5, and of course this was the end of the 4th round. They got him back. He looked in a pretty bad way.
I heard a rumor about this fight that I won't mention any names, but someone, accidentally ripped the glove open.
Well, it's a famous story. I think there are photos to prove that that glove was split in the 4th round. And I don't think it was deliberately cut, as people make out. But it's a good story. But Henry could hit. You see, Henry had a terrific left hook, and he could put anybody away with that particular punch.
As you see, evidently it almost did it to the greatest.
But he did cut, and he did it to the greatest. Yes, one wonders what history might have been if that had happened a minute earlier in that round. And he was a good finisher, Henry. I mean, he might have finished him.
No, what's funny, Henry will always be remembered for this. You go down in history, and we remember the guy that brought it out of our show.
Sonny Liston, the menacing Liston, was the new world champion after twice smashing Floyd Patterson out inside a round. Now the brash Cassius Clay was taking him on. Hardly given a chance, Clay. The odds were 7-1 against him. The odds were wrong.
Coming to the end of the first round, and it's been a sensational first round. And Clay has stolen the honours in it. There's the bell for the first, and they're still fighting. They haven't heard the bell, and they're still going on. The bell's gone, and the referee hasn't heard it. And they still went on fighting. About 8 seconds after the end of the first round, they didn't hear the bell, and neither did referee Barney Felix. And now he starts his clowning again. He's making faces for the photographers. This is what he's been doing all through his training. Look how confident this boy is. And what's happened? Clay has won! Clay has won! Something has happened in Liston's corner. They're not going on. And Cassius Clay has won after 6 rounds. And there's the champion, the ex-champion, sitting despondently in his corner. A sensation to end all sensations. It's all over at the end of the 6th round. And Cassius Clay is the new champion of the world.
I am the king of the world.
Hold it, hold it, hold it.
I'm pretty.
Hold it, you're not that pretty.
I'm a bad man.
Wait.
I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
He shook up the world, all right. And when he and Liston met a second time, the world was shaken up again. This is one of the most curious fights I've ever seen.
Muhammad Ali, as you know, since winning the first fight, is tremendously confident. Look at him, coming right out to meet Sonny Liston, which no man ever did. And when they did, like Cleveland Williams, the result was a foregone conclusion.
I think it confused Sonny Liston because he didn't expect people to come to him like that. But Liston was, you see, Liston again was a pretty good champion. When you saw what he did to Patterson in 2 fights, and now this young man is treating him as though he's nothing.
And due to tremendous challenges like Big Cat Williams and Dora Foley, man, unbelievable.
But this has got a very controversial ending, as you know, and I'd just like to hear your opinion of what happened here. People still talk about it and still don't understand it. We'll see exactly what happens. He actually puts him down with the right hand, which at the time I was at this fight, and I didn't think it was much of a punch, and I'm not sure now. It's pretty quick.
Look at this unbelievable movement on Ali. He makes Sonny Liston seem like he's there from different times.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely right. Well, he was the first heavyweight, really, to move around like this, like a lightweight. But there it is. That's the first of the rights. Now, the next one is the one that puts him down.
He times him as he throws a left hand, he puts it right over it. And so brilliantly fast.
Coming here, I think.
Unbelievable.
Once more round.
Look at him. He's something very special.
Funny, it all seems a lot longer now than it did at the time.
Happened so quick when you were there, huh?
Yep.
Because I guess the electricity in the air.
Well, isn't that interesting? Let's just go back a bit, shall we? Let's just see that again. So it's so quick.
He's tremendously booming.
Yeah, look at that. Right hand over the top. It doesn't... At the time, I thought he'd only just hit him up on the temple, and it didn't seem enough to knock him out. But in any case, there's a confusion here about the count. Jersey Joe gets a little bit confused about the count, and in fact, allows Liston to get up. Now, Liston thinks he's beaten the count, and Jersey Joe now walks away to the timekeeper to check, and they start fighting again.
This is, I forgot who the person was. I forgot the man from Ring Magazine.
Nat Fleischer.
Nat Fleischer had called Joe Walcott over to say, the count of 10, it's the count of 10. And he had no right doing that. He had no right doing that. The fight should have continued, and he shouldn't have had no right doing that. And personally, I think Sonny Liston was hurt because the punch was so fast, he didn't see the punch coming. And as I was saying before, earlier, the punches that really knock you out and hurt you are the ones you don't see coming. If you can see a punch, you can anticipate it, grade it, or else when you get hit, you anticipate, you take the sharp. But when you don't see it, it's just like, you don't know, and you just go.
You see, even in those days, even though he'd beaten Liston twice, certainly in this country, Muhammad Ali was still not at that time regarded as being a really genuine heavyweight champion. They all thought there was something very strange about those two fights with Liston. And it took quite a long time for Ali to establish himself, because he, eventually beat everybody in sight. But it took time for him, certainly in this country, to become recognized. They still thought of him as a clown. Nobody had seen boxing like that before from the heavyweight. Everybody thought he was dancing around too much. He couldn't be a good heavyweight.
Believe it, he was a throwback to, believe it or not, Jack Johnson, who was also not only a great fighter, but very theatrical. I mean, Jack Johnson would have guys talk to him, hold him, beat him up, kill him, I give you 10 grand, you cut my lip, and talk to the people, how you doing, Mr. Jeffries, and flirt with the ladies at the ringside. And being black at the time was tremendous. It's something that they couldn't handle. And Muhammad Ali, what, 60 years later or something like that, 40 years later, it's unbelievable. People are looking just saying, God, we can't have a guy like that. He's a clown. He says, I'm going to knock you out in this round, and he does it. This can't be true. It's absolutely, disastrous.
But he changed. I mean, he changed everybody's idea about what heavyweight boxing could be.
Truly, because people have the typical heavyweight boxer. The heavyweight champion of the world is a symbol of the strongest man in the world. Even though we have powerlifters, weightlifters, when you're a heavyweight champion of the world, the first thing, he's the strongest person in the world. He can knock anyone out. He's a very serious individual. He's supposed to be an idol to the kids. He's supposed to never do anything wrong, which they are right. But people like him changed the course of history.
And I don't think Foreman's going to get up. He's trying to beat the count, and he's out! Oh, my God, he's won the title back at 32.
Ali's greatest moment in Zaire. He still had one or two good fights left in him. The thriller in Manila with Joe Frazier in 1975. And that very close encounter in New York with Ken Norton, who always was a problem to him. He once broke Ali's jaw. But the fight he never should have taken was the 1980 mismatch with the new champion, Larry Holmes. Ali was finished, and Holmes, in the end, became almost reluctant to hit him. Holmes was once Ali's sparring partner. Now, he was a good champion.
I think he's a tremendous fighter. He says things that sometimes he should hold his tongue on. It shouldn't be said, but I guess that's his nature, to say things and speak that way derogatory about something.
Up there with some of the best, isn't he?
Very great fighter, and a very, it's a privilege to have him come from our country, and I'm a great fan of his. And there's some talk down the line that he would like to come out of retirement, and it'd be an honor and a pleasure, and I'll be charmed to do battle with him.
Mikey, it's wonderful to talk to you, because you obviously have a tremendous knowledge of boxing. Are there any old-time British fighters that you are particularly keen on, that you've seen on film?